Tonight in our Fractured series that examines where we are divided and how we can unite, our 10 Investigates team heads to Tallahassee.
We start first with Emerald Morrow, who looks into the state's law requiring Black history education and why some say districts get by teaching the bare minimum.
This battle over teaching Black history is fracturing our state, but the law mandating what must be taught has been on the books for nearly 30 years, yet just 16% of Florida school districts get high marks on how well they educate students in this area.
And we discovered the task force responsible for evaluating those districts has been shrinking.
So we headed to Tallahassee for answers in an exclusive story you will only see right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
This is my illustrious university.
Attending FAMU changed Marie Radigan's life.
Oh man, Florida A&M University means love, means charity, means unity, means history.
Black history, something she says she learned more of here than she ever did in Florida public schools.
You just learn the basic level history. You learn about Martin Luther King, the surface level of Martin Luther King, not the radical Martin Luther King. You learn about Rosa Parks, and you just learn about like basic things.
But the Florida legislature passed a law in the mid-90s that requires going beyond the basics. Just look, students are supposed to learn African and African American history, including what happened to Africans before slavery in America. But is that happening the way it should across Florida's 67 school districts?
Only 11 of those districts have instituted any substantial influence or infusion of African American history.
I will make this available.
Meet Bernadette Kelly Brown. She's the principal investigator for the Commissioner of Education's African American History Task Force. The group's been around for nearly 30 years, and its mission is to help districts implement the state's law on Black history. But with limited power, it's been tough.
I just wanted to make sure that we have some decision-making authority as a task force.
10 Investigates Jenna Bourne and I went to Florida A&M University in Tallahassee for the group's annual public meeting, and were the only reporters there as members talked with the Department of Education about the fragile state of Black history instruction in Florida. This year alone, districts have pulled books for review, and in one case, a movie on civil rights icon Ruby Bridges over fears about racial content.
It's apparent that individuals are trying to rewrite history.
And Governor DeSantis even faced a lawsuit threat after the state rejected an AP African American Studies course, citing concerns with critical race theory.
We have guidelines and standards in Florida. We want education, not indoctrination. If you fall on the side of indoctrination, we're going to decline.
Are we going to let Governor DeSantis or anybody exterminate Black history from the classrooms of Florida?
But task force members say making sure this history is adequately taught is a challenge.
How much of an impact has the task force had on the curriculum across the state?
Not very much to this point. So out of the 67 districts, there are only 11 who have been deemed exemplary.
Districts have to apply for this distinction. In our area, only Pinellas and Hillsborough made this list. Sarasota says it's interested in applying. Pasco says it is too.
We have 6 criteria where districts, if they're looking to get that type of approval or endorsement, they must provide critical documentation, proof of their infusion and the teaching and training of African and African American history in their district.
It sounds like what you guys consider exemplary should be standard.
It should be. I agree, but it hasn't been.
The task force does not control what local districts teach, the classes they offer, or even the books they use.
I'm hoping that legislation will be passed that gives more or asks for more accountability from districts on required instruction, because it does say it is required It's not if you want to or if you think about it, it's required instruction.
We tried to talk to the Department of Education at the task force's annual public meeting last month. I just have a couple questions about how African American history is taught in this classroom.
Like I told Jenna, if you guys want to send your questions to us, I'd be happy to provide responses, okay?
We did, but haven't heard back. We just wanted to know how the Department of Education holds districts accountable. The task force told us in 2019 the department created a portal for districts to report how they teach Black history. But the task force says it does not go far enough.
No financial or any other sanctions that would happen to districts if they hadn't, followed the required instructions.
Are you satisfied with what you've seen in the portal?
It has pretty much checked a box. So it's nothing, no documented citations or evidence that is being done. It's just ask the question, do you do this? Do you do that? And you can say yes, no.
So no accountability?
No accountability.
A DOE vice chancellor talked about the portal at the task force meeting. We tried to catch up with her too. Dr. Ani, hi. I'm Emerald Morrow with 10 Tampa Bay. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. I just have a couple questions.
I have to step into another, I have to make a call, but if you have any questions, please do send them to our communications office.
Again, we did follow up and we're still waiting to hear back. During the wait, we went through the portal. For the 2021-2022 school year, all of our local districts posted reports and implementation plans for teaching Black history. And there was a lot of variation. Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Polk all offer African American history courses. Citrus, Hardy, Hernando, Highlands, and Pasco don't have any. They say African American history is embedded in civics and history curriculums. And Pasco just formed a Black History task force of its own to improve its offerings. But a textbook listed in the portal for Citrus schools raises questions. The district uses a version of the American Pageant, which has a map that refers to enslaved Africans as immigrants. The publisher, though, told me that the map in question is now updated in new books to show, quote, the influx of new arrivals to the U.S. in 1775 was driven by both free and enslaved people. But districts using this book might not have the newest edition.
But it's still up to the districts to choose which books they want to adopt.
A challenge for the task force and for those hungry to learn their history.
We need to teach American history, the good, bad, and the ugly, right? We shouldn't be selective on what we're teaching.
Now, if you want to search this portal for yourself or see what it takes for districts to earn this exemplary status, head to 10tampabay.com/10investigates. And Jenna's going to be back for part 2 of this story tomorrow.
We uncovered the state's African American History Task Force is shrinking. I mean, really shrinking. You can catch this tomorrow at 6 on 10 Tampa Bay. And if you don't want to wait, you can also watch this episode of our YouTube series, What's Brewing Right Now. Scan this QR code with your phone or tablet's camera app, and it'll take you right to our What's Brewing playlist.